What's going on YouTube? It's your boy iNubian back at you with another video. Today I wanted to talk to you about Japanese fighting game devs versus netcode. Now this is going to be a semi-thought out, semi-rant about netcode and why Japanese devs insist on putting delay-based netcode in their video games. What can we do to fix this problem, you know? Because delay-based netcode is not good. It's inferior to rollback, which is a better version of netcode that exists and has existed for years. So why does Japanese developers continue to put delay-based netcode in their video games? Recently, I seen that Street Fighter V, which actually has rollback, or Capcom's own version of rollback. It's not GGPO, which is a well-known rollback. It's Capcom's created rollback, but it is rollback. But their rollback is inferior to GGPO because apparently there was a bug. And this bug would desync one player while the other player stayed synced, meaning that one player would see severe lag while the other person is playing like normal, and it looks fine to them, but it would desync on one side, so it would be one-sided rollback, if you will. And you know, obviously this is not good. So one person, a fan named Altimore on Reddit, I'm not sure, he said he modded the game in 2 days, allegedly in 2 days, to fix this bug that caused the one-sided rollback. Now, Street Fighter V has been out since 2016. It is now, as recorded in this video, January 10th, 2020. So that's 4 years, almost 4 years. I don't know what month Street Fighter came out, but that's 4 years that this game has not been fixed. It's been on the market, been available for purchase. They pushed DLC. I think they're on season 4 right now. 4 seasons of this netcode not being fixed. And allegedly in 2 days, a fan came by and fixed this netcode. And that shows you how much of a priority netcode is for Japanese developers. Now, there's been a big conversation going on Twitter and stuff, but I seen one well-known commentator named Sajam talk about this on his streams and on Twitter, and he's saying that this is a basic functionality of fighting games. This is a basic thing. Most people play fighting games online. Most people don't have the time to go to their locals or travel to big tournaments like Combo Breaker or Evo or any type of big event to compete. So fighting games are meant to be played person v person, right? PvP. And the best way to do that, and the most accessible way to do that in today's day and age, is the internet. So that should be your first priority. So why aren't Japanese developers making that their first priority? Why are these games so inferior when compared to other video games on the market that use peer-to-peer, that play people to people? Like, why is it so inferior, and why is it like banging your head against the wall to try to get these people to understand, like, hey bro, this shit's fucked. We need better netcode. You know what I mean? Even like great games like Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2, which I tried to play back in 2017 when it came out, I believe. Rev 2. I tried to get into Guilty Gear because I watched Evo Japan, and I was like, this shit is crazy. I love the way this game looks. I love the way it looks and feels. I played it. I played a little practice mode. It looked dope. I did some combo trials for Leo. It was cool. I hopped online. It was trash. Well, mostly because a lot of people weren't online, right? Because it's an older game. It was an older game at that point, but the Rev 2 patch that just came out, so I expected a lot of people to be on. There were some people on, but I want to say I played maybe 10 games, and out of those 10 games, 7 of them were severely delayed to the point where it's not even fun. And it's not fun when you think you're trying to learn a game and you're trying to do your combos and you're dropping your combos because the game is just delayed so much, and the delay changes in delay-based netcode. How is that fun? You know what I mean? And I don't really understand why it's like that. And people are defending this netcode. People are defending these AAA companies, saying like, oh, it's too expensive. or it's too hard for them, or delay-based netcode works fine in Japan, and that's the people that they're developing for. That doesn't make any sense. If Japanese developers are only developing for Japan, then they would only market towards Japanese people. They wouldn't market towards the West, like, hey, America, hey, Europe, look at our game, please buy it. That's where the money is. If a company is only developing for Japan, a fighting game company is only developing a fighting game towards Japan, they're missing out on millions of dollars because the Western market is a lot bigger than Japan is. So why wouldn't you develop with them in mind? And they need better netcode. Us, me, you know what I mean? I live in Korea, but I'm an American, so I understand how terrible it is. And even in Korea, some of this delay-based shit is trash, bro. I play a lot of Tekken, and sometimes these matches are unbelievable. And this is Korea to Korea, and Korea is tiny, and Korea's internet is arguably better than Japan's. So I don't really understand how that argument even holds up. You know what I mean? And recently, Guilty Gear Strive, which is one of my most anticipated games of this year, there was a big stink going on about GGPO or rollback netcode. You know, I've seen them in the streams. Rollback netcode. Hey man, is it happening? Rollback netcode. Rollback netcode. Rollback netcode. And then I've seen there was a some function that the game was playable. And during that demo, they had a survey. And on the survey, it said, is rollback important? How important is rollback to you? And I guarantee you most people said extremely important. This is what we need. And then after that survey, Daisuke, the man who's creatively behind Guilty Gear, came out and said, we're still thinking about it. Some of our developers say it's not worth it. It's too much work. So at that point, you have to think to yourself, all right, I'm paying you $60, right? And all I'm asking you is that you put in the effort to put rollback netcode in and make it functional. Make it work. Why is this difficult? I'm so confused by that. And then for you to come out and say, hey man, yeah, you know, development's, it's kind of in the works right now, so we don't really know if we're gonna do this. I don't know. Meanwhile, Mortal Kombat X, or Mortal Kombat 10, whatever you want to call it, they came out with shitty netcode on launch. And what they do, they rebuilt the game, spent all that time, all that money, all that effort to rebuild the netcode and to make it roll back. And then they put that rollback in Injustice 2. And then they put that in Mortal Kombat 11. You know what I mean? They didn't have to go back and rebuild and spend all that time, money, and effort and rebuild the netcode for Mortal Kombat X. They could have just left it shitty and then changed it in Injustice. But they hear the fan outcry and they listen to the fans and they want to make the fans happy. And I feel like the Japanese developers are just so set in their ways. They're like, man, you know what? These dudes will buy that shit anyways. And at that point, that's has to be what they're thinking. Because you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna buy this game because it looks gorgeous. I mean, look at this shit. This game is fucking incredible looking. I want this game. I want this game and I'm going to buy this game day one. Stripped features and all. I don't give a fuck. I really want to play this game. Right? And then you play it, you hop online, it's trash. And then what? And you're like, man, this netcode sucks. And then you stop playing it. And then everybody stops playing it. And now you have nobody to play online. So it's really hard to learn the game. And that's it. Meanwhile, indie developers like Skullgirls, or I don't know the developer's name, so I'm just gonna say the game. Skullgirls, Punch Planet, Fight of Animals. You know, these are small indie titles. Well, Skullgirls got pretty big, but other ones are small indie titles, and they use rollback netcode. And you're telling me that a AAA company can't be asked to get up and be like, all right, man, we're gonna put some rollback in this motherfucker and make this the best possible game we can. That's what you're telling me? That's what you're telling me? A AAA studio like Capcom. There's GGPO. GGPO exists in the world. It has existed in the world, and now it's free, right? But at the time they were making Street Fighter V, GGPO wasn't free. So what did they do? We're gonna make our own rollback netcode. Cool. They attempted it, they failed, and it was a bug. There's a bug in the rollback, which causes desync, right? This has been reported on and shown multiple times throughout its entire life. And they have done nothing to fix this. A man came, a random fan said, you know what, this is bullshit. Let's see what I can do about this. One person in allegedly 2 days fixed the bug, put a patch out for PC, and now PC players, it works fine. I guess it doesn't work well with PS4 players, but you know, I mean, what can you do? It's better than what Capcom did, right? You know what I'm saying? So I really don't understand. So at that point, if you buy Guilty Gear Strive, like say it's not 100% that rollback is not going to be in Guilty Gear Strive, right? It's not 100%. It could possibly be rollback. This is very possible that they could change it. They could put it in rollback and boom, all is right with the world. The game's going to be crazy, right? Or they could just be like, yeah, we couldn't do it. Here's this delay-based netcode that's trash. That'll be $60. You know what I mean? At that point, do you just take the shit that has just been shoveled in your face? Because pretty much they're pissing on you and sticking up the middle finger at you at the same time and then telling you to pay for it. Give me $60. I'm going to put this middle finger up and piss on your feet. And some of you might like getting pissed on the feet, but I mean, that's, you know, generally a negative thing. And I'm going to piss on your feet and you're going to hand me $60 and you're going to have a smile on your face. It's like, come on, man. Come on. Like I said, Guilty Gear is one of my most anticipated games of 2020. But if I talk all this shit and we're all up in arms about rollback, and then you still purchase the game after they don't put rollback in there, what does that tell the developers? That you're gonna fucking buy it anyways. You know what I mean? You're gonna buy it anyways, and once they have your $60, they have your $60, and that's the end of it. Like, you lost. Why would we ever change? People are purchasing our video game. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, the way you stop them from doing this is stop buying the game. After everybody made all this uproar about Strive, everybody said, hey bro, we're not fucking doing it. We're not dealing with this shit. I need rollback netcode. And they say, fuck you, here's some delay based. At that point, you have to be like, fuck you too. I'm not paying for it. I don't want your fucking shitty ass delay base. You can't have my money. You know? And then you have to suffer through it. And I guarantee you, if everybody stopped purchasing this game, I guarantee you there'll be some change. They'll do something. They will figure it out. All that money and effort that went into that game already, I know it's difficult to create games. It's very difficult. Very difficult. Extremely difficult. Something I can't even fathom, probably. But at the same time, you're creating a product for consumers. And that product needs to be on par. It needs to be the best it can be. and online working in today's age is a basic functionality. And people are defending it, saying it's okay, that it's not good. Nobody cares about it. I'm not a hardcore fighting game player. I'm a casual fighting game player. I love fighting games. I like to watch them more than I like to play them, kinda. But I love fighting games. I enjoy the competitive aspect of it. But how competitive can it be if the online is trash? You know what I mean? Street Fighter's talking about being in the Olympics with an online tournament? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, what are you talking about, man? How? This shit doesn't work. And now a guy created some shit to make it work while Capcom, the AAA company, does nothing. All games should have rollback netcode. If you don't know what rollback netcode is, I'll put an article below that explains it in detail. Because I can't explain it to you. It's too complicated for me to explain to you. I'll put an article in the comments or in the description and let you know so you can read it all on your own. But all the future games, Tekken 8, whenever that decides to come out, roll back. Guilty Gear Strive, roll back. That new Grand Blue game, it should have rollback, which it probably won't, but it should have rollback. Street Fighter 6, well, Street Fighter 5 already has rollback, but Street Fighter 6 should have better rollback. You know what I mean? GGPO is free. So I really don't understand how they can justify not having a superior thing in their video game at this point. Japanese developers need to get their heads out of their asses, man. Heads are firmly planted in rectums and they need to be released, man. Shit that out, man. Get it together. You know, I'm a very small YouTube channel and I'm pretty much screaming into the wind, but I mean, it is what it is, man. And that's really all I have to say about it. So if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll check you in the next one. Deuces. Wait for that orbital, huh? Right over here. Get into that wall, sir. Get out of here. Get into the wall, sir. That was good. That was good.